Let's look at familial hypercholesterolemia. A genetic disorder of lipoprotein metabolism runs in family and believed to be the most common genetic disorder that affects about 1 in every 200 people in the world. It's not the usual hypercholesterolemia because even with a healthy lifestyle, the individual who inherited with this condition will still have the abnormally high cholesterol level of more than 160 mg per dl instead of the normal blood LDL level. Mutation in several genes in LDL uptakes will result in FH. Mutations in LDLR gene, whose product is the LDL receptor itself. Mutation in ApoB gene, whose product binds and breaches the LDL and its receptor for subsequent endocytosis LDL uptake. And mutation in the PCSK9 gene, whose product regulates the lifespan of LDLR. All are dominant mutations that can cause FH.
I have an abnormally high LDL level even though I am the sporty kind of girl like most of my other family members. How likely my sister will have the same conditions like me?
Tell me more about your family history.
My grandpa and my great-grandpa had passed away from cardiovascular disease, and they had diagnosed this in around their 70s. So it's mostly affected my father's side, and my father's side has cardiovascular disease too, and I'm afraid I might inherit this genetic disease.
Inheritance pattern of FH in your family is autosomal dominant as the trait persists in every generation. Since only your father is heterozygous FH, thus you and your sister will have 50% of chance to be affected by heterozygous FH. But interestingly, there could be also cases of compound heterozygosity where a person has two different mutant alleles on the same gene. They are likely going to die from premature cardiovascular disease at the first 2 decades of their life. Besides that, some other observable symptoms such as tendon xanthomas, corneal arcus, and developed coronary arteriosclerosis in them. Homozygous for the same mutation will just as deadly as the compound heterozygous case.
So, how likely am I going to pass on this condition to my children in the future?
If your husband doesn't carry any alleles of FH, the chance of become heterozygous FH is 50-50. However, if you marry a guy heterozygous just like you, then there is 25% chance your child will be a compound heterozygous or homozygous, or they will be free from FH. However, the rest of the 50% is that they will have heterozygous FH. Whereas, if your husband has 2 mutant alleles of FH, then all of your kids will be affected by FH, with 50% of them are severely affected. You need regular checkups to monitor LDL level. Ensure sufficient exercise and most importantly, practice a healthier diet with less fatty food intake compared to the other people. If your LDL level ever reach a dangerous level, then medications and even some treatment for associated CVD will be required. For individuals who bearing 2 mutant alleles, lifetime treatment for some form of CVD is necessary. But also, screen for the trait at age of 2 and initiate a strictly dietary management and lipid lowering therapy before the age of 8.